Chosen one, heaven just interrupted your scroll for a reason. In the next 15 minutes, you're going to discover why God has been blocking every door you've been knocking on, and the exact moment when everything shifts. This isn't motivation. This is activation. Let me ask you something, and I need complete honesty right now. When was the last time you woke up at 3 a.m. with this question burning in your chest? How did I end up here? Maybe you're 47, watching people from high school living the life you sketched on a napkin 20 years ago. Or maybe you're 58, the house suddenly quiet since the kids moved out, looking at your spouse thinking, who are we now? Perhaps you're 41, passed over for promotion again, watching someone half your age take what you deserved. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. That restlessness, that 3 a.m. question, that's not depression. That's divine disruption. God is preparing you for an upgrade. But here's the part that stings. You've been hitting cancel for years without realizing it. Type 999 in the comments if this found you at the exact moment you needed it. And subscribe, because heaven isn't finished speaking. What's coming next will change how you see your entire journey. The upgrade you've been rejecting. The 3 a.m. truth and the upgrade you canceled. Let me tell you about Karen. Real person, 52 years old, worked at the same insurance company for 28 years. Good benefits, solid pension, safe. 3 years ago, her boss retired. Karen was the obvious choice for the promotion. Everyone knew it. 28 years of loyalty, of expertise, of being the backbone of that department. But they hired someone from outside, someone younger, someone with fresh perspective. Karen was devastated. She told me through tears, I felt invisible, like all those years meant nothing. So she did what any of us would do. She updated her resume, applied to 2 other companies. Both rejected her, and that's when something inside her just broke. She stopped applying, stopped trying. She told herself, I'm too old. Who's going to hire someone my age? She stayed at that company, bitter and broken, just waiting for retirement like a prison sentence. But here's what Karen couldn't see. God wasn't punishing her with those rejections. He was redirecting her. That promotion she didn't get, that wasn't a closed door. That was God saying, not this, something better. 2 years later, that insurance company got bought out. They cut 60% of staff. Karen's department? Eliminated. 28 years, gone in one meeting. But here's the twist. Those 2 companies that rejected her 3 years earlier, both reached out during the layoffs. Same position, higher pay, better benefits, remote work. And they wanted her specifically. Karen told me, I spent 2 years angry at God for closing doors. Turns out, he was building me a gate. I just couldn't see it because I was too busy staring backward. She took one position. 3 months in, I make $15,000 more. Work from home 3 days a week. I actually enjoy work again. And if I'd gotten that promotion 3 years ago, I'd still be there when it collapsed. The upgrade was always available. God was always working. But Karen almost missed it because she called redirection rejection. The 3 upgrades you're blocking right now. So let me show you the 3 specific upgrades God is trying to push through. And I guarantee you're blocking at least one, maybe all 3. Upgrade number 1. The relationship reset. Marcus, 61 years old, best friend since college, 38 years of history. But every conversation was toxic. The friend complained, criticized, never showed up when Marcus needed him. Just took. Marcus told me, I knew it was unhealthy, but 38 years, man. How do you walk away from 38 years? Here's how. You realize that longevity doesn't equal value. Marcus finally had the conversation, set boundaries. The friend got angry, played victim, ended the friendship. And Marcus said, I thought I'd feel guilty. Instead, I felt 20 pounds lighter. I didn't lose a friend. I removed a weight. That friendship you're carrying that drains you every time they call. That family member who treats you like an ATM. That marriage that's more business partnership than covenant. God is whispering, it's time to reset the boundaries. But you keep saying, I can't. We've been together too long. They're family. What will people think? Let me tell you something. Your upgrade is waiting on the other side of that hard conversation. Upgrade number 2, the career pivot. Linda, 44 years old, dental hygienist, hated her job for 8 years. 8 years. Every Sunday night, panic attacks. Every Monday morning, dragging herself out of bed. But the pay was good. Insurance was great. So she stayed. Then COVID hit. Office closed. She got let go. She told me, I thought my life was over. Turns out it was just beginning. Linda had always wanted to be a photographer, never pursued it. Not practical, everyone said. During lockdown, she started taking photos of her neighborhood, posted them online. Someone saw her work, hired her for a wedding, then another, then another. 3 years later, she makes more as a photographer than she ever did cleaning teeth. She told me, getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to me. I just wish I hadn't waited for God to force me out. How many of you are 1 year from retirement, counting down days like a prison sentence? Or in your early 40s thinking, I have 25 more years of this? God is saying, there's another option, but you're saying, I'm too old to start over. I need the security. Your upgrade is on the other side of that scary pivot. Upgrade, Verker 3, the purpose awakening. James, 59 years old, accountant, 3 kids, all grown. Wife passed away 2 years ago. He told me, I woke up one day and realized I don't know who I am without her. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want. I've spent 35 years being a husband and a dad. Now what? That's the upgrade, friend. God is saying, now you get to discover the person I created before life told you who to be. You've spent 30, 40, 50 years being who everyone else needed you to be. The provider, the caretaker, the responsible one, the strong one. And now God is asking, who do you want to be? And you're terrified because you don't even know anymore. This is the biggest upgrade of all. Permission to become who you were always meant to be beneath the layers of expectation, obligation, and survival. Why you keep hitting cancel? So if these upgrades are so good, why do you keep rejecting them? 3 reasons. See if you recognize yourself. Reason 1. The sunk cost fallacy. You've invested so much time, energy, money into the current version of your life that walking away feels like admitting you wasted it all. But here's the truth. The years you spent weren't wasted. They were tuition. You paid for the lesson. Now, use the lesson. Karen stayed 28 years. Were those years wasted? No. She learned the industry, built a reputation, developed skills. When she finally left, she didn't start from zero. She started from 28 years of experience. Stop calling it waste. Start calling it preparation. Reason number 2, the comfort trap. Miserable is familiar, and familiar feels safer than unknown. You'd rather stay in a job you hate than risk a career you might love. You'd rather stay in a relationship that's dead than risk being alone. You'd rather keep the life that's killing you slowly than risk the life that might make you come alive. Marcus kept that toxic friendship for 38 years because ending it meant facing something scarier than toxicity: change. But here's what nobody tells you about comfort. It's not actually comfortable. It's just predictable. There's a difference. Reason number 3, the too late lie. I'm too old. I missed my window. That ship has sailed. Let me tell you something. Moses was 80 when God gave him his assignment. 80. Abraham was 75 when God told him to start over. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he started KFC. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first book until she was 64. You're not too old. You're too scared. And I say that with love, but I say it because it's true. Linda thought 44 was too late to become a photographer. Now she's 47, booked 6 months out, living her dream. The only thing you're too old for is wasting more time believing you're too old. The invitation you can't ignore. So here's where we are. God has an upgrade ready. Not someday, now. But he's not going to force you. He's going to invite you. And you have to decide. Are you going to keep hitting cancel? Keep saying, not yet, not me, not now? Keep dragging the old version of yourself into a season that requires a new version? Or are you going to do what Karen finally did? What Marcus finally did? What Linda finally did? What James is learning to do? Hit accept. But here's what you need to know before you do. Accepting the upgrade means letting go of the old version, and that's going to hurt. The old you has to die for the new you to emerge. That's not poetry. That's process. Are you ready for that? Because if you're not, don't waste God's time or yours. But if you are, then part 2 is where I'm going to show you exactly how to stop blocking the upgrade and start activating it. Because knowing you need to change and knowing how to change are 2 different things. And I'm about to give you the roadmap nobody gave you before, the 48-hour activation protocol. 5 specific actions, non-negotiable. And if you do all 5, I guarantee you'll see evidence of the upgrade by the end of the week. Not a promise, a guarantee. But you have to stay with me. Because what's coming next is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about breakthrough. This is your moment. Don't miss it. The 48-hour activation protocol. Why motivation dies and what actually works. Okay, let's talk about why you've tried this before and failed. Because you have, haven't you? You've watched the motivational videos, read the books, made the vision boards, felt fired up for 72 hours, maybe a week. Then life happened, and you slid right back to the old version. Let me tell you why. Susan, 53 years old, wanted to get healthy. Joined a gym, bought workout clothes. Day 1, killed it. Day 2, pretty good. Day 7, never went back. Susan told me, I felt like such a failure. What's wrong with me? Nothing was wrong with her. Here's what was wrong. She tried to change her life without changing her environment. And the old environment always wins. Here's what Susan did differently the second time. She didn't start with the gym. She started with her kitchen, threw out every processed food, every trigger. Then she changed her morning routine. Then she told 3 friends, I'm doing this. Hold me accountable. Then she joined the gym. 18 months later, down 60 pounds, runs half marathons. At 54 years old, same person, different strategy. Why? Because this time, she changed the system, not just the motivation. Write this down. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Every single time. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. You can't grow in the same environment that kept you small. You can't upgrade in the same environment running the old software. So we're not starting with motivation. We're starting with environment. 5 specific actions, 48 hours, non-negotiable. And if you do all 5, I guarantee you'll see evidence of the upgrade by the end of the week. not a promise, a guarantee. The 48-hour activation protocol. Action number 1. The midnight purge, hour 0 to 12. Tonight, before you sleep, walk through your house and identify 3 things that represent the old version of yourself. Things that symbolize the life you're leaving. For Karen, it was her work badge from the insurance company. Kept it in a drawer for 2 years. Every time she saw it, she felt like a failure. I told her, cut it up, tonight. She called me at 11:43 p.m., crying. I just did it. I don't know why, but I feel lighter. That's ceremony. You're marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. For Marcus, it was his friend's number, 38 years of history. He deleted it at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. My thumb was shaking, but I did it, and I slept better that night than I had in 6 months. What's your thing? That clothing size you're going to fit into? That business card from the job that broke you? That photo you keep looking at like a wound you won't let heal? 12 hours. Find 3 things. Remove them. This isn't waste. This is making room. Action number 2. The boundary conversation. Hour 12:24. Within 24 hours, have one hard conversation. The one you've been avoiding. Here's the script. I need to talk to you about something. It's not easy for me to say, but it's important. State the boundary. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to be honest, and I need you to hear me. Marcus told me, I practiced in my car for 30 minutes. My voice was shaking, but I said it. And even though he hung up on me, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in years. The conversation might not go well. They might get defensive. They might walk away. Let them. Your upgrade is more important than their comfort with your old version. 24 hours. Make the call. Action, FERPTA 3. The pattern interrupt. Hour 24:36. For the next 12 hours, do something you've never done before. And I mean never. Linda told me, I drove the same route to work for 8 years. Same road, same stops, autopilot. I told her, tomorrow, take a different route. She laughed. She thought I was crazy. But she did it. And she drove past a small art gallery. Something made her stop. She walked in, saw a photo exhibit, started talking to the gallery owner. That conversation led to her first photography client. One different route, one new conversation, one open door. Your pattern interrupt doesn't have to be big. It just has to be different. Sit in a different spot at church. Order something you've never tried. Take a walk at a time you never walk. Call someone you've been thinking about but haven't talked to in years. Break the pattern, because your breakthrough is hiding in the unfamiliar. Action number 4. The Evidence Journal. Hour 36:44. For the next 8 hours, write down every single thing that could be evidence of the upgrade. Everything. Susan started her health journey. Day 3, someone at the grocery store complimented her energy. She almost dismissed it. I said, write it down. That's evidence. Day 5, she woke up without hitting snooze. Evidence. Day 7, she craved water instead of soda. Evidence. By day 14, she had a full page. And when she doubted herself on day 16, she read that list. And it reminded her, this is real. This is working. You're going to doubt this. On day 4 or day 6, you're going to think, nothing's changing. And you're going to want to quit. That's when you pull out your evidence journal and you read every single thing you wrote, and you remember the upgrade is happening. You just can't see the full picture yet. Write it down. Every conversation, every coincidence, every small shift. It all matters. Action number 5. The accountability text. Hour 44:48. Before 48 hours are up, Text 3 people this exact message. I'm making a major change in my life. I'm not going to explain everything right now, but I need you to know I'm serious about this, and I need your support. Can I count on you? 3 people. 1 text. 48 hours. James sent that text to his brother, his pastor, and his neighbor. His brother called immediately. What's going on? Are you okay? James said, I'm more than okay. I'm finally waking up. And I need people who will celebrate that, not question it. All 3 said yes. 8 months later, those 3 people are still checking in, still encouraging, still holding him accountable. Don't pick people who will coddle you. Pick people who will challenge you. People who will call you out when you start sliding back. 3 people. 1 text. Do it. The week 1 reality check. Let's talk about what's going to happen in week 1. Because if you're not prepared, you'll think you failed when actually you're right on track. Day 1-2. You're going to feel amazing. Like you downloaded superhuman powers. Motivated, energized, unstoppable. Enjoy it, but don't trust it. It's adrenaline, not real yet. Day 3-4. You're going to feel nothing. The excitement wears off. The motivation fades. You'll wake up and think, was I crazy? What was I thinking? This is normal. This is where most people quit. Don't. Day 5-6. You're going to feel resistance. Old patterns will pull at you. Old people will text you. Old habits will knock. This is the test. This is where you prove whether you meant it or you were just emotional. Day 7. You're going to see evidence. Something small. Something you almost miss. Conversation. A coincidence. A door. And you'll think, wait, is this? Yes, it is. That's the upgrade showing up in real time. Susan told me about her day 7. She was at the grocery store. A woman stopped her and said, I don't mean to be weird, but you look different, like you're glowing or something. Susan almost cried in the frozen food aisle. That's day 7. That's when you realize, this is real. It's working. But you only get to day 7 if you survive days 3-6. So when you hit day 4 and you want to quit, come back and watch this video again. Read your evidence journal. Text your 3 people. And remember, the upgrade is happening. You just can't see it yet. The next level move. Here's the move that separates people who upgrade once from people who keep upgrading for the rest of their lives. After week 1, ask yourself this question every single morning. What would the upgraded version of me do today? Not, what do I feel like doing? Not, what's easy? What would the upgraded version of me do? Karen asked herself that question on week 2, day 3. She was about to skip a networking event because she was tired. Then she asked, what would upgraded Karen do? Upgraded Karen would go. So she went. At that event, she met someone who introduced her to someone who hired her for a consulting role. 6 months later, she's making more money than she ever did at the insurance company. One question, one decision, one door. Linda asks herself that question every morning. Some days, it's take the risky creative project. Some days, it's rest, because rest is productive. But every day, she's checking in with the future version of herself, not the past version. This is how you sustain the upgrade. Stop asking, what do I want? And start asking, what does the person I'm becoming need me to do? That question will guide you through every decision, every doubt, every detour. The final word. So here we are. You now have the blueprint, the 48-hour activation protocol, the week 1 reality check, the next level question. But none of it matters if you don't do it, because information without application is just entertainment. And I didn't make this video to entertain you. I made it to activate you. So let me ask you one more time. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop hitting cancel on the upgrade God's been trying to push through? Are you ready to do the hard thing, have the hard conversation, make the hard choice? Because if you are, the next 48 hours are going to change your life. Not theoretically. Actually, Karen is living proof. Marcus is living proof. Linda is living proof. James is living proof. Susan is living proof. And in 7 days, you can be living proof. But you have to start now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Now. The upgrade is here. Accept it. Drop a comment right now. I accept. That's your activation. That's your public declaration. That's your point of no return. And if you want to go deeper, I've put together a free PDF guide with all 5 actions written out, including scripts for the boundary conversation and prompts for your evidence journal. Link is in the description. This is your moment. Don't miss it. And subscribe, because what heaven is revealing next will take you even deeper. The upgrade has just begun.